that doesn't mean that it didn't happen just because it happened before. And this is a very sneaky imposter syndrome thing that happens inside our brains. We will tell ourselves that we are only as good as our last result. Welcome to Did I Stutter with Jill Perrick. And yeah, I probably did because I have a stuttering disability. But I'm also a multiple six-figure business and mindset coach who's here to help you shut down the mindfuckery of imposter syndrome, self-doubt, and playing the nice girl in your content so you and your brand can blow the fuck up and so you can stack the motherfucking cash. I'm holding absolutely nothing back. We're talking marketing, messaging, mindset, subconscious healing, nervous system regulation, and how to do it all even with raging anxiety, ADHD, and just being a fucking human. If fuck is one of your favorite words and nothing can get in between you, your iced coffee, or the work that you're here to do, I'm your girl. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the pod. I am walking with Ruby, and when you're listening to this, it's October, but I'm recording this in September at the end specifically, and it is a beautiful 20-something degree day. Oh my god, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, and it's kind of hot, and I'm fucking loving it. I actually was swimming in my pool yesterday. It was Sunday. We had a couple of pals over. We watched the Bills game. Go Bills. My friends came over, like a couple of our friends came over. I made big buffalo chicken dip and it was fucking delicious. And it was just such a great Sunday. I love football Sundays. It's the only reason why I like the fall and I like the winter and of course Christmas. But we're coming up on Canadian Thanksgiving, which I think it's so crazy that in the US, Thanksgiving is like so close to Christmas. You need to have it in October, like the Canadians do, okay? Because then you have a nice big gap and then you can start decorating so much earlier for Christmas. I fucking hate Halloween. Those of you who have been here since the beginning, my actual childhood home burned down in 2020 on Halloween, and we've always hated it anyways, just collectively as a family. So really just sold it for us to hate Halloween when our house burned down. So anyways, we're coming up on October. It'll be 5 years since that happened, which is crazy. And 2020 is also the year that my business blew up, which is fucking incredible. That was my first six-figure year ever. And I look back on that time so happy that I'm not there anymore, but it was still a really great time also for the business. Anyways, I just wanted to convey to you how fucking beautiful this day is. Wow. I might go for a swim, and let's dive into today's actual episode topic, which is not just talking about this beautiful day. It is also talking about your results, your client results, and why you need to be loud as fuck about them. And it comes from an actual question that a client asked me inside of StorySlut. If you don't know what StorySlut is, it was my 5-day intensive Telegram program where I dropped riffs in there every single day about how to sell confidently on your stories, how to use your stories as a actual sales channel to not just give fucking updates of your day. And you can actually grab that at the link in my show notes. It's still $88 and you will get access to the channels, you will get access to all the trainings that we did, you will get access to the Instagram story prompts that I gave as well, and you will hear all of the feedback that I gave because I dropped numerous surprises inside of this offer, and one of those was, first of all, a fucking live call that you will have the recording to, and it was so fucking epic. And I also reviewed all of their stories for a week. Was I crazy? Yes, but it was so fun, and everybody's stories got 10 times better, 100 times better after I was reviewing them for a week. So that was fucking awesome, and you can definitely still grab StorySlut at the link in my show notes. And another one of my surprises was I did a Q&A. So I did a Q&A on the last day. I told everybody you can ask me a question, and I dropped some really great responses. And somebody asked the question around, client result. And if a client is not, at the end, how can I share it, right? If they haven't gotten the big result, how can I share it? If a client result was old, or if it was something that, is from like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, or a year ago, like, can I still claim it? Can I still talk about this? And as a certified imposter syndrome expert, I have always gotten this question. And I also have been in a lot of rooms where the coaches have said, you can't share certain wins, or if they happened more than like 30 days ago or something, you can't claim it or own it. Or they just kind of like said energetically, essentially, like you can't share that because it's old or it's outdated or it's not like the whole result, And then there's just the thoughts that come from us. The thoughts that come from us around, what if somebody judges me for sharing this win? Will they think it's not good enough? Will they think it's stupid or small? Will they think I'm lying? Will the client who this result is about is gonna have a thought about me? Like, are they gonna think that I am taking ownership of their wins? Do they think that I'm just using them to share their wins? Like, there are a ton of thoughts that could be going through your head around sharing wins and client results, and this can feel particularly sticky for you. But if you are not actively sharing your results and your client results, and obviously this is niche dependent, but we are in an industry, if you're a coach, where like your own embodiment and the results that you get are just as important as how you help others get results, because you don't want to really like hire a coach who is not walking the walk or talk the talk or has the experience, right? So when you're shy about sharing these results, or when you're feeling like you shouldn't take up space with them, it really will limit how much fucking money you make. And it can be the thing that is keeping you so stuck because you think, oh, I need to talk about all these other things, and you're forgetting like your client results and the way that you show up and talk about them is going to be a big reason why somebody decides to hire you, because ultimately the number one objection that you will not directly get, but it's something that is always in somebody's head is this gonna work for me? Is this your formula, your method, who you fucking are? Is this gonna work for me? And I actually gave this feedback directly to a client because something that I think she was missing was the fact that she was not relating her results back to where her clients were at when they came to work with her, and like what thoughts did they have, what feelings did they have, where were they in the world, what experiences were they having, and how did they get results? Because that's what everyone is thinking, is like, okay, I see you have all the screenshots and all that shit, but like, is this gonna work for me? So it's not just about you sharing a win or bragging or sharing about your wins or bragging. It is an actual marketing strategy to share your wins, to share your client wins. And it allows somebody, when you actually tell the story of, this is how my client got this result, blah, 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 it allows your potential clients to see themselves in your work. And so if you are somebody that perhaps you're a business coach, perhaps you do share client results and you're like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, how come I'm not making more because these results are fucking incredible? I wonder if you are detailing every once in a while how you actually help your clients get results. Because again, when it comes to the kind of work that you do, sometimes it's really easy to throw up a screenshot or say like, oh, I got this client this result. But the reason why people aren't trusting is because they're like, okay, but how did you? And obviously you're not going to go through every little fucking thing, but that is going to be the logical part of somebody's brain asking themselves, should I work with this person? And then the second piece of that too is like, is this gonna work for me? It's that question, that subconscious question that we all have, and that can sometimes be rectified by you also sharing, but these are the kind of people that come into my container. Here are their limitations when they start working with me. Here are the feelings they have, the thoughts they have, so potential clients can see themselves in your work. So again, it's not just about you bragging or sharing screenshots or sharing client wins. You're also like helping people identify that they would be a good fit for your offer. So the other piece of this is I did want to talk about the fact that like you don't need to discredit past transformations just because somebody quit or moved on or pivoted or their results went back to the same thing after they stopped working with you. Like, I think there is something to be said about, not telling yourself that this win isn't good enough, these results aren't good enough, or they're old. I mean, obviously if it's like 5 years old, okay, yeah, like I probably wouldn't be sharing those. Like, let's use our critical thinking caps for this one, But if something is like a year old or a couple months old, why wouldn't I share that? Why wouldn't I share a result that I got or a result that my clients got? Because that doesn't mean that it didn't happen just because it happened before. And this is a very sneaky imposter syndrome thing that happens inside our brains. We will tell ourselves that we are only as good as our last result. We are only as accomplished or, legitimate as the last result that we got somebody or the last result that we got. For me, like, this used to look like me and the results that I was getting. Like, no matter how consistently I made 5-figure cash months, no matter how big of a sales month I had, I just celebrated a $40,000 sales month in September. And before, I would be like, okay, just on to the next one. I need to top it. I need to be bigger. I need to be better. And what I was learning was to then never be happy with the sales that I was making or the results that I did have. Or if, God forbid, I had a little slight income dip or it was a slow week or a slow month or something like that, I would use it against myself. And this is like the fucking downfall of owning an online business. There's going to be dips. There's going to be times where things aren't necessarily fucking blowing up, and that is okay. Obviously, if something has been going on for an extended period of time, yeah, we need to look at things. We need to look at your consistency and showing up and all of that kind of thing. But you have to learn how to celebrate the fuck out of every result that you get. And that is how I learned to, like, no matter if I have signed a 10K client before or a 15K client before, I would still celebrate an $88 sale, a $27 sale. I would still fucking do that because I know that that is only going to compound to bigger and better results. And if I think all the results I get are a big deal, my clients think all of their results that they get are a big deal. And this is also huge for, like, you celebrating your clients and helping them celebrate themselves, is like they're going to be led by you. If you're like, let's say you're a health and fitness coach, but like you only really celebrate your clients if they lose 20 pounds instead of like they lost 2 pounds, they lost 3 pounds, they're doing all of these things that are contributing to this big result that they're compounding to. If you aren't going to celebrate that result, don't be surprised if they learn to not do that either. We have to learn how to see like the journey and the process as just as important as the big fucking result. Celebrating every step of progress builds momentum and shifts your identity. Right? Your job as a coach, your job as a business owner is to celebrate the fuck out of the evolution and not just the end result, because it truly is never over. Even if somebody ends their time in working with you, you're hoping that they're going to continue the habits, they're going to continue to step into the identity that you help them step into. And I think I've said this on the pod recently, but coaching is just a big identity shift. It is just a massive shift in identity, whether you are losing weight, whether you are looking for a new relationship, whether you are growing a business, whether you're changing how you're showing up in your content. It all comes from a shift in identity. And the people that are meant to work with you believe that it's an identity shift as well. If people are only coming to work with you because they're just thinking about the result and they're not realizing that like the identity shift is required to get the result, like you need to learn how to call in the right people, right? And that is a messaging thing. And we talk about all of these things inside of the Real Deal Mastermind, which is my signature container to help you to grow your business to 10K to 20K months, create consistently higher cash months, and become the person that is a big fucking deal in her niche, that sees herself as a big fucking deal, and is actually looking to step into the identity of somebody that has 10K to 20K months, because it's not just about the result, it's about who you are becoming. And that is what happens inside of the Real Deal Mastermind. You will learn how to really celebrate the fuck out of everything that you are achieving and everything that your clients are achieving, so it feels easy to talk about your results, to talk about your client results, and you will stack the income strictly because of that. You will also clean up your messaging and your marketing. You'll show up consistently and with power and with confidence. This is the room that you want to be in if these are all things that you struggle with and all things that you really want to nail down and perfect by the end of 2025 and to take you into 2026. Okay, we are enrolling now. Hit me up in the DMs on Instagram at your coach Jill. If you're like, what are the incentives for October, Jill? Let me fucking know. And I am so excited to talk to you. So have a great day, you guys. Love you so much. Bye.